it's normally a story that comes with that. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, sometimes you just remember some good shit. Welcome to the Bottom of the Bottom podcast.
Welcome, good people. Y'all know what time it is, man. It is Wednesday, and y'all know what that means. It's the Hummmpday Happy Hour Tap In. I'm your host, Jay Walker III. That's my co-host, Carolina Dirt 803. What's good with you?
Oh, they happy hour tapping, boy. That shit, it gets the week going or middle of the week notified.
Indeed, man. Look, we here again with the good people, man. Look, like we always say, man, we run across, we know all great people, and this week is no different. You know what I'm saying? This week we have a entertainer, professional wrestler. Let's start with that. Professional wrestler / entertainer, athlete, Mr. Olympia and other like. We're gonna bring him to the screen. Mr. Jai Kole. How are you this evening, good sir?
What's going on, family? Nice to see y'all, man. I'm good. I'm doing good.
Absolutely, man. This is special to me, man, because it brings me back to a time where I'm not so intertwined as I was, but just growing up, man, wrestling is a big deal. Wrestling's a big deal everywhere. Huge deal in the South.
Absolutely.
But before we get to that, man, we got a little icebreaker here, man. Just something to get you kind of warmed up, man. We call it First Call. It is 10 questions. I got 5. My brother got 5. Ain't no right or wrong answers. This is not geometry, science, none of that shit.
Right.
And I'm going to tailor mine to my youth. So I'm going to start with Kamala or JYD.
Oh man, I mean that's a deep comparison right there, man. Yeah, I mean, just based off persona in general, I'm gonna have to go with JYD.
All right.
Just based off persona, that's it.
Okay. Coco Beware or Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
I'm gonna have to go with Ricky, man. he got that arm drag.
Absolutely.
Got that arm drag, man. He that's a legendary guy. Nothing against Coco, but Ricky's the guy. Absolutely.
Which side did you fall on? WCW or NWO?
Around that time, I would have to say NWO. That was everybody had the T-shirts at school. Everybody wanted to be in the NWO. I mean,
the Wolfpack.
Yeah, primarily Wolfpack. Yeah, the Wolfpack.
Absolutely.
Razor Ramon.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, what more can I say?
Absolutely. Goldberg or Sting?
Sting.
Oh man, I gotta go Goldberg. Come on, man.
I gotta go Goldberg myself, man.
Sting.
I gotta go Goldberg.
I have my reasons.
Okay. Okay.
I have my reasons, but it's gonna be Sting all day.
Okay. I'm not mad. You can't be wrong.
You wouldn't understand, but Sting.
You can't be wrong. All right. And then I just had it in my head. I'll just go for it, like I said, for my youth, Rock versus Stone Cold.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. That's what turned me into a wrestler. That rivalry is what told me I wanted to be a pro wrestler. It was that attitude era all the way up to when they finally ended it at WrestleMania 17. That was like the end of the Attitude Era beef. All the top beefs happened at WrestleMania 17 that started from the 90s. So that's my favorite beef of all time.
Who you got though?
And that's more of a difficult one. But I'm gonna have to say The Rock.
Again, you can't be wrong, man. Stone Cold has so many moments. The Rock has so many moments.
It's one of them things, man. It's like,
That's my 5. What you got for him, Carolina?
All right. Your favorite meal at the Waffle House?
Say it again.
Your favorite meal at the Waffle House?
Oh, that's gonna be the All-Star.
I think everybody picked that.
That's all I get.
It's everything. It's a little bit of everything.
That's all I get.
Yeah. All right. Your favorite finishing move in wrestling?
My favorite finishing move in wrestling, something that I personally use, it's called the Sky High. It's something that D'Lo Brown used to do a long time ago. It's a power bomb kind of thing, sit down power bomb. That's actually one of my favorite moves to do.
And D'Lo,
yeah, it looks good.
Oh yeah.
Right, exactly. he made that move famous. I don't know if he created it, but he made that move famous. And anytime I say the D'Lo, they already know what it is.
Crazy. When I was at school, my roommates used to say, "Man, you always trying to power bomb somebody." I'm like, "Nah, man. It's so easy to power bomb somebody. Like the setup, you can do the setup anywhere."
Right.
Athletic female, who would be your counterpart? Like how the wrestlers have a female counterpart, who would be your counterpart out of all the celebrities, female celebrities?
Not in wrestling, but you talking about in wrestling?
Not in wrestling, just somebody famous.
Like somebody a woman that I admire or something like that, or got a crush on.
Either that, somebody be your partner in the ring.
Somebody that you felt could embody your energy.
Yeah.
Well, she's not alive, but it would be China.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
Damn, that took it back. I ain't heard her in a while. She was a beast. She was
R.I.P.
Never gonna be anything like her.
Give me a rap song as your intro. Just give me a well-known rap song as your intro.
I used a couple rap songs before I got my own music. So what I used to come out to, it was like an old Dipset song I used to come out to with Vado on it. I can't remember what it was, but it was a Vado Dipset song I was coming out to a long time ago before I had my own music. So that's really, I don't know the name. I can't remember the name, brother. But yeah.
All right, and I guess my last one, just because they were talking about it, we'll go. Is Dark and Hell's Hot or 400 Degrees?
Mm.
I mean, I'll be real with you. 400 Degrees was a good album, but I was more of a DMX fan.
I know you from.
I liked
Cash
Money songs.
Yeah.
I grew up in Atlanta too. I lived in Atlanta for a short period of time.
Okay.
I'm down with the South all day, Outkast, all that, Goody Mob, all that. But as far as that particular, it's gonna have to be that. It's gonna have to be DMX.
All right, appreciate it. That was first call, man.
Yeah.
Dark and Hell is Hot is just, bruh.
We got the parlay, man.
I done drunk all mine.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just cracked it open. I've been sipping on that.
That's a good look. But
yeah,
Dark and Hell is Hot was when, like, rap had been about, politics. It had been about having a good time. It was starting to get what we felt like was grimy. And Dark and Hell is Hot turned the mirror to yourself. Like, I feel this dude, cuz the Damians and all. Yeah, bruh, that's an immaculate album. That's an immaculate album.
I mean, just think about X and all that. I remember that track being on the Def Jam. I think it was the Def Jam, the first video game.
Yeah, Vendetta.
Yeah, I think it was the first. That was my game right there, bro.
Yeah,
that was my game.
X had every emotion. X had every emotion possible. Whether you're in a relationship, whether you're feeling lonely, you need energy.
He had something for you.
Yeah,
he made you want to crack somebody's skull and then cry that you did it.
Go pray. Go pray about it.
You gotta pray this thing away.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I mean, it's so much to get into, man. Like, of course, you got your detractors that'll say it's all theater and if anybody has been around any kind of wrestling, traditional Greco-Roman wrestling, judo, anything, just because you know you're going to fall don't mean it don't hurt.
That bitch hurt. That shit
hurt every time.
That shit hurt.
So,
you know,
I'm going to start with my first question is, what was, because you said you kind of, you know, started a little, not that you started a little late, but what was your first athletic thing that you were in? Was it football? Was it basketball?
Man, I wasn't good at nothing, to be honest with you, brother. Right? I tried out, you know, my pops put me in basketball. That didn't last too long. You know, we did a little bit of karate. That didn't really click. I mean, you know, we didn't even really try for football just yet, but out of just local stuff, I did a little bit of boxing, you know what I'm saying, in high school, but nothing really clicked. You know what I'm saying? I was athletic. I used to run and flip and climb trees and all that, but it just I wanted to be a wrestler at the end of the day. So, you know, when I became an adult, I started to appreciate other sports. Like I started to do martial arts, you know, and different things, you know, later on. But when I was younger, I wanted to be a wrestler. That was it.
Dude, crazy story. So my arch rival in high school, 7th grade, the wrestling coach asked me to wrestle. I was like, man, I ain't wrestling, man. I don't want to do that. I'm playing football. Man, I got to wait till my senior year. And the wrestling coach that I had at the high school I was at, he asked me to wrestle. He was like, I expect you to be in the wrestling room this afternoon. Like, he wouldn't even let me call my mom and dad, be like, I'm going to be later. None of that. He was like, I expect you to be there. And I was there. I wrestled for 1 year and came 5th in the state. That was
that's
like,
good.
I regretted every year since the 7th grade because of that shit. Because, like, I loved it that much. I only did it for like 1 year. Like, it's the whole you by yourself. Like, you get team points, but you by yourself.
Yeah, you in there.
Yeah, you in there. And you understand if you benching, like I was benching 400 then.
Dang.
You bench 400 then, but having somebody drop 250 pounds on your back and you try to stand up, that's a different weight, bro.
Yeah, it is. Sandbag weight.
Bro, that's
sandbag.
That's a different weight, bro. But I love it.
So did you wrestle in high school? Were you wrestling then?
No, I mean, I had the opportunity to, but at the time, you know, like my grades wasn't all that. And, you know, it was definitely like really, really intense. I wanted to, I just never got around to it. But, you know, now that, you know, I probably should have, honestly. Yeah, I definitely should have.
Go ahead.
No, so what's your intro story to wrestling?
Oh, you mean like, okay, like how I started to really get into it? So pretty much I was like a kid, a teenager. I used to watch it all the time with my stepfather. He was a big wrestling fan in the 90s, like 93, when like Yokozuna was around. He would order all the pay-per-views with his friends, and it just turned into a every week thing from on and on and on. That was like me and his little bond, and just we watching. I used to watch it on like Saturdays because we ain't had cable, but then when we got cable, we didn't get cable till like 98. Like, you know, so I had to watch like the Saturday night morning WCW stuff on the Shotgun Saturday night at 12 o'clock at night. It came on regular TV to get all the little updates, or I would watch I would get the little magazines in the mail. But when we got cable is when I seen it was Raw. It was like 98. It was a lot going on. It was the night that the night after Survivor Series when The Rock had joined the corporation. So it was something about that Raw. It had the Godfather on there, it had William Regal on there, Stone Cold was beefing with The Rock. The Undertaker came out and hit Stone Cold with a shovel. That was probably the best Raw I ever seen in my life. And when I watched that Raw, I said, I want to be like The Rock. I want to be a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like Mark Henry. I want to be like Stone Cold. You know what I'm saying? So that was when I said, yo, this is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
which is crazy. You haven't mentioned Ric Flair, and I think Ric Flair made wrestling a rock star thing.
He did.
Ric Flair really, because I was on wrestling, got off wrestling. Like I always had my spurts when I watch it, but I always felt like Ric Flair embodied what wrestling is today. Back then, like
he made it cool. He made it
cool. He made it like you a rock star, and I heard him talk many times. And you can hear the passion when he talks. And I've seen a couple of clips that you had, and I can hear the passion that you when you speak on it.
Right.
So when you found that you love this sport, who was the first person you tried on in the neighborhood? I know you had to try one of the moves because you watch it every day. Everybody tried to figure four on somebody. Everybody tried the cripple crossface or somebody.
Like when I was in elementary school, I used to get in trouble a lot. So when I was in 4th and 5th grade, we had recess. So we used to do these little wrestling matches on a little monkey, like the monkey bar is at, and we would do a little moves. I used to give everybody the stunner. You know what I'm saying? I used to stun everybody. Or I would do like the jackhammer, and everybody would crowd around us and everything. And my boy was real athletic, so I would hit the stunner. He would hit the whole backwards flip and all that. But yeah, that was my move, man. I mean, I broke a lot of bigs at home. I remember I choke slammed my little brother, and he bounced off the bed and hit his head on the floor. He had a knot on his head, and my mom came home like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Well, he fell." You know what I'm saying? Like he fell. So he had a little water, he had a little ice on his head, and it was just like we was wrestling, man. We used to get it in at home whenever she left and all that, and we used to tear that house apart. It was fun. We had a lot of fun doing that, But yeah, and then the commercial would come on. Please don't try this at home, but we already did everything.
Yeah, that was too late, man.
It's too late.
Point. Yeah, my brother put me in the figure four when I was young. That shit don't feel good.
It don't. Or the sharpshooter.
The figure four, the sharpshooter, crossface. Mine was the sidewalk slam because I was taller than a lot of people.
Right.
So once I dipped on you, cuz you going up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I definitely remember my mom getting on my ass for fucking up my little brother.
Happens every day. Happens every day, man. A lot of kids got in trouble for that.
So I'm gonna put this up. This is out of the community, the comments. Active, non-active. Who would you like to wrestle? What would have been your dream match?
Who would have been my dream match?
Whether you got somebody in mind in the future or even a blast from the past, who would be a dream match for you?
It would have to honestly be, I got 3 guys that I can name, and it's hard to choose even one of them. So I'm gonna have to name all 3, but I can't pick one. It would either have to be Triple H, Ric Flair, or the Undertaker. Because if you can get past those guys, you got your stamp of approval. That certifies you like you a student of the game. If you ever get a chance to get in the ring with those guys, and you can get past them, and you can work with them, you certified. You know what I'm saying? The chances of that happening in my life, very, very slim. But it is what it is.
Even still, man, like you didn't no slackers. Like I don't want to wrestle none of them dudes. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? The Undertaker was probably like at an age where I'm impressionable, 13, 12, 13, 14, like, come on, man. Yeah. He won't die. He's supposed to be dead.
They done put that man in a coffin. He done woke up. They done buried that man. He done came up out the grave.
Yeah, you don't get no better than that. And if I whip Ric Flair into that corner and he hit that spin in that corner and he come on that side, I give him that clothesline. That's what you want to see. That's his move, like.
I don't know. I like Ric Flair. He'll poke you in the eye. Ric Flair do that dirty. He'll poke him.
Right. He's legendary. Never won a WrestleMania, I believe, but he's legendary. He lost every WrestleMania, I believe.
So what was your first day in the ring like? The very first time you got in the ring.
Yeah, so pretty much I started out at a school called Gilbert. Y'all know who Gilbert is. Okay. So Gilbert he was in a jobber category in the WWF. He used to impersonate Goldberg, remember?
Oh, okay. I remember Goldberg.
He was part of the job squad, him, Al Snow, and a couple other guys, but he'd been there for years. So he opened up a school in Maryland, and I tried out for it in 2009 or 10. And he had a school, and my first day, you take your bumps, you run, you flip, just to see if you can deal with the impact of the ring. And they were telling me that I was athletic for my size. I was flipping and moving and things like that. So, but it's definitely an eye-opener because once you hit that mat, you decide real quick if you want to do this or not. Because you decide, you might, every time there's a new class, there might be a class of 50, but at the end of the day, it might be a class of like 10 when it's all done. Every time it happens.
They think that thing got some bounce in it. It ain't got that much bounce.
Nah, it don't. I mean, your body get used to it. Like a bigger guy like me don't bump as much because of the unless the guys, my size or bigger, but ain't nobody like Rey Mysterio size gonna be picking me up and body slamming me. It's not gonna happen. But and then your body get used to it. But I mean, like once you get into it, you kind of know, all right, this is what it is. It just from there, it's just all natural from there.
So your toughest day, what made you go after you did that, got through your first day, on your toughest day, what made you go back the next day?
What made me go back is because I was so invested in it. Like I was looking for years. I was looking.
No, I'm talking about like your worst day, like the day where you were like, man, I don't think I want to do this no more. But what made you go back the next day?
Oh, what made me go back was because one of the guys had told me that that I remind him of Bam Bam Bigelow. So that was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up because he could move. So but what happened was I ended up almost tearing the ACL in training. So I had a strained joint, which I couldn't walk for about a month or two. So that was my worst day in the ring, and that happened during training. So I had to go back. I couldn't just stop right there. Like, all right, even though people was telling me like, man, you should just chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like my pops used to tell me like, chill out. Just, you know what I'm saying? But and that was years ago. I mean, I've still been injured after that. You know what I'm saying? But just being hurt, at that time, I was like, I gotta come back. I haven't even accomplished anything yet. You know what I'm saying? So I went through a lot at that time. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was like, man, I'm not gonna quit. I
mean, that's hard. People don't understand the drive of an athlete. Like people be like, man, if I was you, I'd quit. If I was you, I'd take a day off. Like they don't understand the drive of an athlete. Like the athlete is beyond being just athletic. An athlete is mental, physical, spiritual, everything. It takes a lot to be an athlete. For you to go through that and keep going, like there's a lot of people that wouldn't understand that. And especially with wrestling, it's not one of those things that's considered high paying unless you're a big name.
Absolutely.
So what did you do financially while all this was going? Like you get hurt and take your bumps and bruises. Are they paying you at this point, or you got other sources of income?
Yeah, I mean, you got other sources of income, but if you are in a big league or something like that, like I wasn't on a contract enough like that at that time on that injury, I was still in training. So, but if you on big league or something like that, most of the time you ain't getting paid unless you perform. So they ain't no health insurance, nothing. You know what I'm saying? You better save your money or have another hustle or something, which I had many hustles, so I ain't really worried about that. So,
All right, you mind telling people some of your hustles, that got you through?
Yeah, so I mean, I used to work in sales, you know what I'm saying? So I used to work in sales. So I was always, good with the gift of gab and selling and talking to people. So I always could
sound like a street dude. That would have sounded like you talking about you street.
It's a little bit. It's Baltimore. It's Baltimore. It's West Baltimore.
I got
you know what I'm saying. So it's either that, But as far as that, man, I was always doing something on the side, wherever it was selling something. Like right now, even though I am employed and everything, I mean, I have my own vending business. I got a partner over there in Vegas where we do solar panel installations as well. So. Just other things that I have an interest in, that I like to do, and that I just kind of like. It caught my attention over the years. Like, hey man, this is it's an interesting little gig or hustle to get involved in. I mean, especially nowadays, man, everybody has to do something. You got to.
So is wrestling part of your hustle, or is it opposite?
I mean, overall, wrestling is a hustle. It's just like being a stripper, to be honest with you. Like,
I don't say that, man. We three big dudes on the screen,
I mean, but let me break it down to you. So it's a hustle because they're selling you the idea and the illusion in the club. We selling you the illusion in the ring. So to get you to come to that merchandise table, to get you to buy these items offline, to get you to come back to that next event, it's an illusion. So I mean, it's real. It's real stuff going down in that square circle. But at the end of the day, we trying to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So, absolutely. Yeah.
What's the? Have you ever had an overzealous fan encounter?
I mean, it's a lot of weirdos out here, man. So I mean, it's been, I got
as far as like ringside. I don't want you to say nothing where you done drop somebody on their head. I don't want you to talk about no lawsuits.
I mean, you know what? To be honest with you, compared to what other people have experiences, I don't really experience no crazy shit like that because I guess I connect with the fans. If I'm heel or face, I just keep it real with them. You know what I'm saying? I seen a video a couple months ago where a wrestler on the indies, he got into a fan's face and the guy got up out of his chair and smacked him. And security he had to be, the wrestler, I guess the wrestler had tapped him or something like that. And the guy felt offended and he got up. I mean, rule number one, you don't touch fans. You know what I'm saying? So I always had that level of respect. They don't say nothing crazy to me on Instagram or in person. Like I let them know, like, what it is. I never really had no crazy shit like that ever happen to me. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you ever feel worried about a fan just doing something awkward?
Well, they tend to say things. So I remember I was wrestling in Pennsylvania. It was me. Pennsylvania can be a little weird. You know what I'm saying? So it was me and another guy. It was our first show there, and a lot of times you don't really hear what people are saying. But this night, me and him just heard "Go back to Africa." Like that's all. That's what I heard in the middle of that match. Me and another brother, and it was just they just sitting there like impressing me. You got some places you go where these fans think they know more about wrestling than the wrestler, so they watch it all day. So they come out like, show me something I haven't seen, impress me. So you might be hearing all the garbage they talking, while you in there, but it's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? So you might hear some stuff like that, some some negativity here and there.
I wanted to ask you. I forgot the name of the wrestler. He was speaking on something I watched on YouTube like last month, and it was during the whole Vince McMahon shit when it first happened. But he talked about racism in wrestling. So you spoke on it one time. Have you heard worse stories about it, like through your time wrestling between black people and?
I mean, as far as that, I mean, I've heard more stories in the past about racism in wrestling than what I hear now. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, like I personally never seen anything racially happen to me. I try to keep a good relationship with the promoter, the booker, or whoever, because I'm in control of my own image and my own persona. So there's no big company putting anything on me or saying, hey, this is how you gotta act or look, but I personally never really had any weird encounters like that before. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people have. I can't speak for everybody, but I've definitely been at shows where out in the boondocks out in Virginia where I heard it was a white woman in the audience that called one of the wrestlers the N-word. So I've seen it, but me personally, it hasn't happened to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's always going to be there wherever you are. I don't necessarily blame the business. It's sometimes people. You know what I'm saying? So, it's everywhere you go.
You be the most non-athletic, worst body shape looking people, knowing they can't fight or nothing, to be talking bullshit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and to be honest with you, I don't really have no problem with white people in wrestling, man. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, I don't. Like, I never really had them kind of encounter, And the more people give you the problem is black people sometimes, man. Yeah. it be your own kind sometimes.
Your own people
go for you. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's another discussion. We ain't on that right now.
Yeah, that's what Kevin Hart said. We the first one to try to bring somebody down.
You know how it is, man.
It can definitely be that way, man. So, you said it's a hustle, but I can tell you love to do it. Like, how long are you prepared to go with it?
I mean, that's an interesting question because, like, I've been kind of like thinking a lot these past couple of years. I've been talking to a lot of the older wrestlers and telling them like, man, I don't have time left. And they asked me how old I am. And they said, you got plenty of time left. I just turned 35 last month. So, but honestly, I'm not saying I'm trying to go as long as Ric Flair. He just had his last match.
Yeah.
But
Flair 107.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I really don't know. Like every time I say, like I told myself 5 years ago, I wouldn't be wrestling at 35 if I'm not where I want to be. But the business don't work like that. You can make it today, you can make it tomorrow, you can make it 10 years from now, or a door might open. You really never know. So right now, I say at 35, but I got a show coming up in Atlanta in October. So I mean, who knows, man? It just depends on how you feel. You know what I'm saying? I still feel good.
How hard is it to keep your weight up? Because people don't understand. It's rough keeping that weight up.
Yeah, the thing is,
down.
Man, I mean, the thing about it is ring shape and regular shape is two different things. Like some of them football players, heavy, but they can move on the field. It's the same thing in the wrestling ring. You can be ring shape, but you can be out of shape physically. But just be active. You got to be active, man. I mean, I try to hit the gym at least 3 or 4 times a week. But I mean, even that is a drag because I'm getting older. You know, you know how it is burning calories,
metabolism slowing down and everything,
and just having big guys in your family. So it's like you got the odds stacked against you. So you got to put in a lot of work, man. So it ain't easy. As you get older, it's definitely not easy.
Somebody said, "What's your workout schedule?"
So my workout schedule is let's say between I try to do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. The reason why I do that because I break it up. So let's say Monday I might do chest and triceps. Tuesday I might do back, and then on let's say Thursday I might do some legs, everything legs, and I might throw in Friday like I work other things like just a shoulder day. Or like cardio and abs, you know, kind of day. Or and Wednesday I might have like I have other things to do. I try not to work out too much. And then on weekends I have shows. So at least 3 or 4 times a week. And then ring training sometime on Wednesdays. So I break it up like that. Yeah.
How do you prefer heel or face? Do you have a preference?
I prefer heel. I've been working heel the majority of my wrestling career. Certain places would prefer that I'm face, and I do a good job at it. But I feel better as a heel because there's a lot of small guys in our business now. So on a psychological level, you know, it's
David Goliath.
Right. So it's better for me to be a heel than a lot of times a small guy being the heel and I'm the good guy. It happens, but you know, I just prefer being the heel. I'm good at it. And the thing about it, I think it was Kevin Kelly or Jim Ross, they say the nicest guys make the best heels. You know what I'm saying? I'm a nice, cool guy, but I'm a very good heel. You know what I'm saying? So it tends to be that way sometimes, you know.
Well, you see that question? Can you see that question?
It says, what's your prep routine before matches? Do you exclude yourself from the ladies? Is that a thing? Because Mike Tyson said, fuck that.
Right.
He said he'll get it in the locker room before the fight.
Right. So, I mean, you can try this, exclude yourself all you want, man, but, you know, when nature calls, it's going to call. So it's like, it is what it is. But, you know, as far as that, I try like stretching, you know, like if it's the same day, I always try to get a workout before the night before. But like stretching, I make sure I eat my breakfast, you know, drink as much water as possible. Every time there's a show, I get there early. You know, I run the ropes and stretch out in the ring. I always make sure the ring is secure because, you know, there's been times where the ring had exploded or, you know, the ropes had broke or something like that. So I just try to get myself warmed up before that day happened. But you know, if it's like a night before or something, I do try not to drink or nothing like that or stay up too late or have a lot of distractions. And sometimes that little thing that person just mentioned, it can be a distraction when you have a lot going on. Like let's just say like this year, I had a total of 4 championship belts. So that means that when you go out as a champion, there's a lot of pressure on you to perform and make that crowd understand why you're the champion. So sometimes you might need to be by yourself the night before or the day before because you want to make sure that you get the crowd the best for their money. So you might have to, exclude yourself from the females and going out for like a day or so.
Shit, Ric Flair said he can get it. Everybody can get it. Ric Flair said he ain't care. Yeah. He said I can't remember him or somebody else like shit. Right. They ain't even care. They don't run it through him.
Absolutely. I gotta hang out with that guy at least once in my life, man.
So how do the ladies treat you?
I mean, honestly, I'd probably say the ladies are probably my biggest fans, to be honest with you. I mean, I get a lot of emails and messages, and they always buying the merchandise and coming up, getting the autograph pictures, buying the shirts. I mean, when a lady supports you, just take a page from off Biggie. The ladies love Biggie. You feel me? When they with you, they with you. Some ladies don't even like wrestling; they just like me. So when they come out and they go pay the tickets and all that, and do what they do, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there are fans that ask me. There are old ladies that ask me if we could be together. I have messages like that. And one lady,
got them cougars in there.
She got
he said old. He would have said cougar if he was talking about cougar.
Right. And some of them would follow me. Some of them would follow me to every city that I was going in. And like if it's like the DMV, Virginia, or Pennsylvania, and you got all these different companies in one area, I would see some of them. They would come and I would look in the crowd and they would be waving and like, hey, I'm here or whatever. Like, or they'll ask me, they'll send me an email like, hey, are you going to be here? Like, yeah, I mean, you got to put on a good show.
That's stalker tendencies, and she gonna remember you said that later on when she gets you in that hotel room. You got to put on a good show.
Hey man, right? They want to see some of the moves in the bedroom. That's your category.
Yeah, they want you to come out in that singlet.
Right. Exactly. They want to see. They want to see that King Beast live.
Yeah.
Man.
They want that. They want it.
Now, Big Dudes is as popular as they've ever been in this time right now, man. So I hear that and I see that.
What's your routine?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, what's your routine after the match? Whether you win or lose, do you have like a superstitious routine, or is just pack my shit and go?
No, I mean, like I try to stick around. I'm normally the main event, but I just try to, depending on where with me being a champion and everything. But I try to just stick around for a minute. A lot of times we might go out for a drink or something like that, or go out to the Waffle House on Fridays. If there's a bar around, we end up in the bars or the strip club. Or back in the day when I was first, I ended up at random chicks' houses at the end of the night, like
old chicks' granddaughters.
Yeah, like it's like you would be in the middle of nowhere, and sometimes I would have to drive 4 hours, and sometime after that match and your adrenaline is up, you just like whatever. Like I do it tomorrow. I'll go home tomorrow, and and that's that. So yeah, I mean, it definitely can go down like that.
Do y'all tour or y'all is travel and that kind of shit on an individual?
Yeah, I mean, so pretty much like being independent. There are like companies in every state, so they have dates, so you don't really have to necessarily tour with them. I mean, if you got a bunch of guys that's on that card or on that show, y'all come right up together. But being independent, you kind of got more freedom to kind of do what you want. Now, if you like a New Japan Pro Wrestling or something like that, y'all would most likely tour together, or like something like the NXT brand when they were touring together around and stuff like that. Even back in the day when they were touring, with the big old WWF bus and all that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but nowadays wrestling is different, man. I mean, everybody kind of got the flexibility to do what they want, except for when you are in the WWE. So, right. But other than that, I mean, there's really no limitations to doing what you want to do.
You wrestled overseas yet?
I wrestled in Canada once, man. I love Canada because I'm a big Hart family fan. So I love
Hart, Owen Hart.
Man, that's a hard combination, but it's gonna have to be Owen, man. It's gonna have to be Owen.
What did they used to call their wrestling room they had? The Lions Den or something like that? I can't remember.
It was called Stu Hart's Dungeon.
Yeah. You're talking about the Steiner brothers.
Was it? No, the Hart brothers. The Steiner brothers.
No. You said the Lions Den. I think that was
No,
the
that's
Steiner brothers.
You talking about the Lions Den match that Ken Shamrock had back in the day?
I was just talking about the Hart brothers. They had something where they used to practice at all time.
Yeah, it's called Stu Hart's Dungeon. It was in the Hart house family basement.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, it was
I
in
remember
that
the Steiner
basement.
brothers.
Yeah, the Stu Hart would put you in all kind of locks and make you scream and pretty much quit being a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? You know, for real, Stu Hart to lock your ass up.
Man, going back to when I wrestled, I almost quit. I think it was my second week there. We were doing choke drills. I ain't never let nobody just choke me for practice, man. I was like, I don't know.
Right.
And our coach was like, he was like late 50s. He was like, yeah, you gotta rock it in harder. This old man with that old man strength.
He got that old man strength. Yeah.
Man, he was choking the shit out of me.
He got that Debo strength.
Yeah, man. I was like, hey, bro.
He said choking you to death and talking shit to the other people.
Yeah.
So this is what you got to do.
Yeah,
that shit was rough, bro. I was like, I don't know. It was only me and another black dude on the team, but he had been wrestling for a while. But I was like, I don't think we supposed to get choked out in high school, bro.
They on something else. They watching too much WWE.
Yeah,
man. Have you seen somebody that you wrestled with on a daily get called up?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's been plenty of guys that I were either on shows with or training and things like that. That have gotten called up. I remember what was his name, Velveteen Dream, when he was there. You know, he from the Maryland, DC area. Leo Rush was in our circle. Jessica, she's the only female WWE referee. I mean, the Rascals. There's a lot of different guys that I've seen or been involved with in training that that might get called up or get opportunity or even get on there as an extra. I've been on there as an extra. I've done things with WWE or done things with Impact Wrestling. So you just never know. I mean, sometimes it can be, right place, right time. But I probably say for the most part, every time I watch wrestling, there's somebody I see that I know. You know what I'm saying? So that maybe the fans don't know, but within the business, like I know, referees or commentators or wrestlers that come in and do a job or get contracts. I mean, it's like right there. You know what I'm saying?
You ever took it too serious or had an opponent take it too serious? Like they just get caught up in the emotion in the ring and it's like, hey, bro, you going a little too hard.
Yeah, it was. It was a guy that I punched him in his mouth. Because
bro. I'm from Baltimore, bro. I'm from the block.
I don't know what it was. I mean, this was probably like 2014 and I was up in Virginia and I don't know what it was. I don't know. But I think he just kind of landed on my head in a way. And then when I got up, matter of fact, I didn't punch him in his head. I kicked him in his head. I hit the rope and I gave him like one of those Randy Orton kicks to the head, but it was all flat foot to the head. It was flat foot right to the head. And then we got back there. He's like, man, you got me pretty good. I was just like, I was in a moment, bro. So like, that was all I had for him because, there are people that will test you. There are people that will get in the ring, and if you don't know what you're doing, they will take advantage of you and abuse you or hurt you or just try to make a fool out of you. They will.
And I always wanted to ask somebody, is Sweet Chin music that serious? Because every time he threw that kick, that shit looked serious.
It was. As far as if you're talking about Sweet Chin music, it is that serious. But where the super kick is now, no.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels will always have the best super kick. The super kick today has been whored out. It's been whored out. Yeah. It's been overused. I see y'all smacking your leg. I see it. You feel me? Like it's abused. It's like I've seen 10 super kicks on one show. I'm over it. Like what I'm saying? Like, bruh, that's what I'm saying. But Shawn
Michaels mean with that thing, boy.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get no better than that.
Back in the day, that was like, I remember Nintendo 64 was WCW versus NWO, and that was it. It was going to be a super kick or the diamond cutter. Like, I would build my dude.
Oh, yeah, the diamond cutter.
Oh, man.
That was
the end all be all.
Matter of fact, which one better, Stone Cold or the diamond cutter?
Man, I personally think it was the stunner.
The stunner, you can do it from anywhere, cuz. You could be in front of them. You could be on the side of them. You could just catch somebody with the stunner, cuz.
To be honest with you, I didn't really like the diamond cutter until Randy Orton started using it.
but his was RKO though, right?
Yeah,
they showed him grabbing that shit from everywhere.
He asked DDP if he could use it. So
yeah,
okay.
I didn't really start liking it until Randy started doing it.
Yeah, I heard something about they had the whoever helps make up the finishing moves. Like that's how they talked about it, and that's how the RKO came.
Right. So yeah,
I always thought the best one was the $1 Million Dream. The $1 Million Dream can be put on anywhere.
Yeah, the $1 Million Dream put you on that. That was man, that $1 Million Dream, man, bro. Yeah, that.
How do you feel about that? Like, is it like the character development then versus now? Do you think that people embody their characters the way they need to, or like how did you come up with your own character development? How did you?
So pretty much what it is I was doing a lot of research about. I was listening to like The Undertaker and different guys when I used to go to seminars, and they would always say like a character is an extension of yourself. What are you into? So the whole thing about me was being like it's a Rastafarian character. So pretty much what that is. So at the time I was doing a lot of cultural study, and I have a god uncle who was an actual Rastafarian. He got like 20 kids. So literally. So I did a lot of study into that. So Jai, which comes from Jai, which is normally JAH, which is Rastafarian Ethiopian kind of culture. And if you see like the Lion of Judah and everything on the back of my jacket. So that's kind of where that came, kind of being like a cultural kind of king kind of thing. But normally when you look at anybody that's from like Jamaica or Ethiopian, they're normally like a good guy or like a happy guy. But I'm not. I'm a bully. So it's kind of on that kind of thing. But
I think that makes sense though. I think the cool runnings, West Indian, I think that's been done. I think, especially if you know anything about, like, we're not talking about the resort. Like, there's a whole lot of Jamaica outside of that resort.
Absolutely.
And them ain't all good guys.
Not at all. Some of them are shotters.
Steven Seagal had a lot of them in his movies. Them Jamaicans are real.
Yeah, some of them are shotters for real, man. You don't even want to go to Kingston like that on a good day.
Speaking of that, I think wrestling does embody a lot of, like, each sports embodies something. I think wrestling does embody a lot of people from the islands. I guess because, like you say, like, you didn't have cable, so you had to watch at a certain time, a certain way. And like people being on the islands, probably the same thing. I got a homeboy who's 100% Samoan. So when The Rock was coming up, like, that was his idol right there. All the Samoans love The Rock, regardless of whatever he does, because he always felt like, especially now when he's in movies, he's always putting their culture on display. And
representation matters.
Yeah, and
they remind me.
Absolutely.
It was a TikTok that I was scrolling through today, and it said moving with a Samoan woman. And when I tell you this lady grabbed, a deep freezer.
Yeah, I seen that one.
I gotta check that out,
bro. She snatched it off of the back of the truck and just walked it into the house.
Yeah,
I heard Samoan women they not no joke, man. I'm trying to find me one too, man.
Shit, we had one on our show. My homeboy sister was on our show. I was scared of her for like 15 years of my life.
Yeah, they don't play those games, man.
Bruh,
very statuesque, very thick people.
Yeah, she was like 6'4". She probably, I don't want to lie about her weight, but she probably pushing like 203. And this is like back in like we kids. She like 17, 18. Like,
yeah.
And then the people at the time she used to kick it with wasn't no punks in the streets. I'm just like, yeah, man. I don't want to see your sister today. I'm good.
It's crazy. Like,
me.
Hawaiians ain't really super huge people, and like Micronesia, Indonesia, they not really huge people, but Samoans just genetically are just thick motherfuckers. It's crazy.
Yeah, why? Yeah, they definitely. Yeah.
Matter of fact, my homeboy, the same dude in high school, he was 6'2", 220. His middle brother, the one under him, 6'5", 6'6", 300, and then the youngest brother was 6'4", 6'5", 280.
Good God.
That's one family.
Yeah, that's one family. Like they had to ride in a van everywhere. It had the axles had to hold up.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
You don't never want to beef with a Samoan because very rarely did they have one kid.
Yeah,
right. and if they trust you, they trust you. If somebody
absolutely
cool with them, they cool with you. They don't just let anybody, come in that circle or just hang out with anybody. They gotta like me. I know Samu, and I don't know if you know Samu from the Wild Samoans, which is the Rock's mom's people. They have a wrestling promotion up in Pennsylvania, and called WXW. And I know a lot of his family are part of that. And when you put the work in for them, they definitely look out for you. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, Samoans are just like black people. I mean, they are African as well, but they're culturally, we are, you know what I'm saying? I know a couple of Samoan guys, all of their girlfriends are African American. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, it's still our people, you know what I'm saying? However you look at it,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Man, look, this has been super dope, man.
Yeah.
You got something for him?
Man, I gotta ask a question. We gotta bring it back for part 2, but like you made me like my brain started clicking by just talking to you.
Right. I mean,
so what about
it's interesting, bro.
Yeah, we haven't thrown in Diesel. Diesel from like we didn't throw his name in the Scott.
You know what? I should have said that because I remember he's one of the guys I studied. Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
Mark
Kevin
Henry,
Nash. Yeah.
Undertaker. One of the people I studied. I don't know if you remember Kevin Kelly back in the day.
Yeah, I remember the name.
I was talking to him and he asked me like one of the people I studied. I told him it was Diesel. Kevin, you know what I'm saying? So like when I'm in the ring and I'm taking my opponent, I might put my opponent in that corner and cut off that ring. That's Diesel. Diesel gonna work you in that corner like Nash is gonna work you in that corner. He's gonna take you from one corner to the next corner, and he gonna work you in them corners and put you down. That's Kevin Nash all day.
7 foot tall, and he put his knee on your neck.
Yeah,
you can't beat that,
That's one of the best, man.
Give us five black wrestlers that you have respect for in the past.
In the past, what about
like people like Booker T and all that? Like, who do you
in the past?
Overall,
yeah.
Overall. Okay. So you already named one. It's gonna be Booker T. I was a huge Booker T fan back when I was a kid. Great guy. I met his wife. Matter of fact, I was a kid. I was like a teenager. And he was signing my autograph. He pulled up in a Cadillac truck, sitting in the middle of the street. Traffic is going down. He signing my joint. Him and Charmel. I mean, they were just inspiration for me. Just seeing a black man and black woman on top of wrestling, like that was just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? He's always one of my favorite. Mark Henry. Mark Henry reminded me a lot of myself too, because he was a big dude. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say that's cool.
Yeah, Mark Henry is probably one of my favorite. Like a lot of guys used to tell me, like, and fans, like, yo, you look like Mark Henry's son in the ring and all that. I always had got that.
Now you look light skinned, like one of us.
Yeah,
one of us. We dark skinned.
Yeah. Talking about that, but yeah, I mean, he was just to me like Mark Henry just was everything that you felt about yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? So with him, he kind of reminded me of myself a lot, just like him being he was in the Olympics. He actually was the world's strongest man.
Yep.
I mean, like he's a good dude. Mark Henry, number 2, obviously is going to be The Rock. The Rock is number 3 on that. Let's say who else is in there? Who else is in my top? As far as that, I got to think. I probably have to say Kofi Kingston is one of the best guys. I've met him before at WWE when I was working there. I mean, he's a family man. He's athletic. He's all that.
Athletic.
Yeah, he's all that he says that he is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He should have been a champion a lot sooner than what he was. But he's definitely the real deal for real. And I got one more. I'm just trying to think, because it's so many of them.
There's so
many of them that I've met.
The Nation still.
I was getting ready to say Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
I met Ron Simmons like 3 times, man, and he was one of the only brothers that took all the black brothers aside at the wrestling show and had a conversation with them about being black in the business. You know what I'm saying? He was always super nice, always super professional. Like Ron Simmons is one of the greatest, first black WCW champion. You know what I'm saying? Like Ron Simmons is an incredible guy, man. Like all the way around.
That was a good list.
Back when they had, I just got one, just whoever you can think of. The other thing about the Undertaker is, and he said it the other day, you know, since he went on his retirement tour, I never realized that we did not see that man out of character for 30 freaking years, cuz.
Right. And that
was nuts to me.
What's wrong? That's the problem that with wrestling today. I don't blame the wrestlers itself, but they had already showed that out. Wrestlers they were wrestlers. You didn't even see, like now with Instagram and all that, you got some people that say, hey, I play a character on TV named such and such. Like, what are you talking about? Like, there ain't no, I don't play anything. Like when I met the Undertaker, I met the Undertaker when I was like in middle school, and he signed my paper. Like I felt that man, you know what I'm saying? Like in his presence, you know, signed my autograph. I went to touch his arm, and before I even touched him, he looked at me like, don't you dare touch, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not going down like that. You know what I'm saying?
And he had the best sidekick. What's his name? Paul, who's the sidekick?
Paul Bearer. Yeah, I met Paul before he died. Yeah, Paul.
That was my Pringle. That was gonna be my question. Who was your favorite courtside personality?
I mean,
ringside personality. I said courtside.
Yeah, I mean, like as far as like a manager.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to say.
Paul. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to say. It was at the time. I'm gonna have to say it was Deborah.
Oh,
Deborah, yeah. When she had the puppies and Jeff Jarrett had the guitar, and she would come out for that little one.
Yeah, I forgot about
Deborah.
Who's your all-time most exciting person in the ring? Like off the ropes, off the tables, off the chairs, just like Hardy Brothers on 10. Like who's your
I probably have to say the most exciting person in the ring. That's a hard question, but I can tell you the person that made me feel the most of anything that when I watched them, it had to be Mick Foley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All his matches,
he sacrificed everything.
He made you want to cry for that man. He used to get his ass whooped so much, and it was just like, yo, it was when he won that WWF belt for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like he made you want to see what he was going to do to himself, or what somebody was going to do to him, or just made you get on his side. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever heard about his checks? Just because you talked about it, like, was his checks there, or he wasn't getting paid enough? And you can tell he just really loved the sport.
I really don't know. I know, like, from what I've heard that he's like really wealthy, but I heard that he looks like he's not wealthy, but he really is. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say, there ain't no whole lot of people that had 2 live personas that were contenders for the belt. Like Mankind didn't he win it as Mankind?
Yeah, he won it.
He did.
He won it.
Yeah, he won it.
So he won it as Mankind and as Mick Foley.
But I'm talking about what he put his body through. You talking about a 20-foot cage on the thumbtacks or Bob. Like, he was going the extra mile. That's what I was saying.
Like he was like, that guy made you like feel sorry for him. Like really like, and we used to get mad at Triple H every week for screwing that man. Like, yo, like you know, why you do that, man? Like hit that man in here with a chair. He's missing an ear, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that he's missing the ear. You know, missing teeth. I mean, like, you know, like, I mean, dude is
definitely. Didn't he get his tongue bit off or some shit?
I think he had a thumbtack or something like that. Go through his tongue or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was wilding.
Yeah, he was definitely out there. But that's that whole ECW hardcore kind of thing. Because let me tell you, I don't know if y'all know, but one of the guys that trained me was Axel Rotten. Axel Rotten from ECW was one of the. He used to be with like Balls Mahoney. So if you ever, I don't know if you know who he is, but he was one of the guys that helped, you know, because he's from the same area, Baltimore. So I used to love ECW, man.
That's extreme, bro. Is that something that is that type of wrestling something that you would even consider?
I mean, I've been in table matches with chairs and weapons and things like that, but on that level, it ain't no reason to nowadays to even go that
I'm about
hard.
to say, bro. Come
if
on,
that's
man.
what you into, then go ahead.
Stay here with us for a while.
Yeah, man. I think your new finishing move should be throwing mumbo sauce in somebody's eye.
right. You never know, man. It's all kind of ideas.
Man, just that mumbo sauce.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you never know. You got to come up with stuff, and that might be. I might have a manager come up with some mumbo sauce or something, or you never know. I might have a girl come in and twerk real quick to distract my opponent, come through with a spear or something like that. After it's so much you can do.
After you pin them, just throw mumbo sauce on.
Right.
Hey, man, look, the way them Jamaican girls be dancing, you might be able to take somebody out, throw one of them at a dude.
You never know, man.
Jumping off the top rope in a split.
Yeah.
So let's, before we go out, what is your ideal? You reach the top. Your version of because you say you don't know how much longer you're gonna be doing this. So what's your idea of reaching the top? And if you do it, if you get there at this moment right now, are you done?
I would say, reaching the top means getting a contract and having that as my full-time job. To me, it doesn't matter like if you're on a mid-card or if you're on Raw or you're on NXT. If you've been contracted,
one of them,
if you're contracted by the pinnacle of wrestling, you've made it to the top. I'm not talking about how much money you make, or if you main event WrestleMania, or if you main event on AEW or something. If you've been seen or being watched by all these people every week, you've reached the pinnacle. You reached the top.
All right, my last question. Easier transition: the octagon to the ring, or the ring to the octagon?
It's going to be the octagon to the ring, because
that's the easiest transition.
It's I mean, look at Ronda Rousey. Her career is done. She just came to WWE to make easy money, and she's still not a good wrestler. So it is what it is. So
Did y'all know that was Ric Flair's daughter for real?
I did. Ronda Rousey.
Where'd you hear that from?
I heard that. Was it
I'll
on the
look it
pivot?
up.
Ric Flair was on the pivot.
And
I thought he said that, cuz.
He said something about his daughter.
He's been around in these streets, man, but I mean, I don't know about that one.
Ronda.
That was. I mean, I'm not saying it as fact because I only have hearsay, but I swear he said that on the pivot.
Go ahead.
Maybe he meant like goddaughter or something like that.
You talking about Roddy Piper? Because I know that he allowed her to use the Rowdy gimmick. I remember she said that she asked Roddy Piper to, for the rub or something like that, or if he could use, the gimmick or something like that. But I've never heard that.
Well, we're going to fact check that, and we'll let y'all know on the show later. That's me just talking too much.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up. I ain't seeing nothing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, I know people like Sasha Banks. I know like Snoop Dogg is a cousin and all that, but but yeah, I mean, I know Charlotte is Ric Flair's daughter, and he has like 2 more sons. One of them died years ago. I remember, but I didn't really hear anything else about him having any kids. But it's possible, man. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I'm on her Wikipedia right now looking.
That's what it is, man. Look, this has been amazing, bro. Like my brother said, man, we probably could do a whole nother 2 or 3 shows. I appreciate you, Jai, for coming on and just breaking down the life that people admire from afar and don't really know the details. Have you been documenting your run? Like, do you think you might put out a documentary on your run in this thing?
Well, the thing about it is, I was actually in talks with A&E Network last year. So there was supposed to be a documentary that was supposed to document a bunch of independent wrestlers on the come up, but I guess something that fell through. As you know, A&E has a lot of WWE content right now, so maybe they didn't want that. Maybe they wanted WWE. So, but I'm trying to find somebody who's interested, that's reliable with that. But that was the last thing that I had in the process that would have been possible, this documentary. But I got tons of matches online, but I do want to get around to having some kind of good, documentary out there for the people to kind of watch and stuff like that.
Would you be a manager when it's over?
Would I? To be honest with you, no. I would probably see myself as a commentary person.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up.
Mhm.
That's what's up. Man, Jai Kole, this has been wonderful. Just like I said, it's eye-opening, man. You never know the life that somebody's talking to you at the gas station and they don't know what kind of life you lead. And that's
Right.
kind of what this show is about. It's like the people that you think are normal but are super extraordinary. So we go out on this thing. It's called Last Call. We about to get kicked out the bar. This is your opportunity to be motivational. You can share your social media. You can let people know where and how to find you. It's your moment.
I
All right,
think
man.
we don't get kicked out the bar. He go in there and tear it up, and we just back him up.
Right. So yeah, man. Just follow me, man. I'm on social media. I'm on Twitter, King Cole, for sure. Number 4 SHO on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. It's the same thing on all social media platforms. Just go ahead and connect with me. I'm available for appearances and interviews and stuff like that. But I mean, definitely, I'm gonna leave y'all with some encouragement, man. Go ahead and shoot for your dreams, no matter what it is, no matter what anybody tells you can't do. Find a way, make it happen. You only live once.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. Carolina, what you got for the people on the way out?
Networking superpower. I'm gonna keep saying it till y'all understand what I'm saying. We had Chrissy on here, Parlay Wines, and that was a dope interview. And me, BOTB and her, we stayed in touch. You see, he got that big bottle out there. Her wine is very good. Not that much sugar. Please support her. Black woman out of Charlotte. She's doing big things. And she told me, she's like, you need to reach out to him. And I was like, what? But I reached out, and it worked out. It worked out beautifully. Like, he was all the way engaged with us, as you can see from this episode. A well put together man. Whether what he's saying, how he looks, what he means, people got stuff to say. We can make complete sentences. You got podcasts on there with people that can't make complete sentences. We bring people on to make complete sentences. So I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate if you would like to come back, we definitely can have you back.
Always, brother.
When we log off, just stay online for a quick second.
All right, man. Look, it's up to me, man. Another great show, man. I like what we're doing here, and I love the people that we bring around. It's a crazy time in the world, man. It don't stop being crazy. Like Josh said, you got to shoot for the things that you want out of life. And like I always say, love the ones who love you back, man. Tell two people that they can find us here on the Bottom of the Bottle Show on Wednesdays and sometimes Fridays or Saturdays. But we appreciate y'all. As always, this is the Bottom of the Bottle Show. Like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. And we'll catch you next time. Y'all be easy. We gone.